Oh my goodness. I know you too near me not to hear me tonight. It's a lot going on in Black America. Foundation of Black America. Tap in. We got a lot of shit to talk about tonight. Welcome to Outlaw Radio, live from the basement on a Monday night. My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the host of Outlaw Radio, also known in some circles as the Negro Whisperer, aka the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the militant with a microphone. Yes, the infamous Outlaw Radio. Welcome aboard. Man, a lot to discuss tonight. It's one of those times where you be like, should I do a show? And you think about it like, whoa, it's popping. A lot of shit to talk about. Not alone. Got the celebrity in the building, the newly crowned king of the herbal supplement game. Mr. Witch Doctor, how you doing tonight, my brother?
Hey man, I'm well. I'm living in gratitude tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's happening, man. But I need to know, how is our Outlaw family doing? And welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the Black woman lover, the Black man's brother, the culture teacher, the hood healer. I'm the ghetto witch doctor. I'm all y'all holistic health and wellness coach. Kamar Carter. Peace. I'm also the one who brings you Nature Nature Herbs and Supplements, Vitality, and the House of Vitality, y'all. Sherman Phoenix, August 5th, August 5th, August 5th, August 5th, August 5th. Saturday, y'all be there.
When is it?
Saturday, August 5th.
When
August 5th.
Rest of the show. That's all he's saying tonight. Every August 5th. Don't y'all forget.
Ask me a question. How do I fix my blood pressure? I don't know. August 5th, come, I'll tell you.
Hey, I thought you were gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Like Chappelle, baby. Right. Nah, man. Look, so what you doing if you ain't supporting Black business? Ask yourself for real. What you doing if you ain't supporting us? What you doing if you ain't a focused person? As a person of color, what you doing if you have no focus? You know, something's wrong with you. One of my friends always calls me and says, something's wrong with your mind. It's very funny. Shout out to GT and the Mini. He calls me all the time and says, something's wrong with your mind. I'm like, what you talking about, man? Really, what it do, big homie?
Peace. How y'all doing this evening?
Man, we great.
Man, holding on like a hubcap in the fast lane, trying to maintain, right?
For sure.
And my old school uncle say ain't nothing cooking but the peas in the pot, and they wouldn't be cooking if the water wasn't hot. Don't ask them how they doing. You're gonna be sitting there for about 30 minutes. Listen. Hey man, it's live from the basement. We all in the building tonight, man. Happy to be here again. Shout out to the Juice Lady, wherever she's at. I'm sure she's lurking, doing what and I'm lurking not in a bad way, but I'm saying she keep her ears to the street. So we already know.
Right.
And I like what Kamar said, because I want to shout out the Outlaw family. Like, it's really a serious group of people who rock with us in the city. And like, for all the complaints that you would have as a content creator from the city of Milwaukee, while the city don't show you no love and yada yada yada, boom skippy boom boom boom. I just want to acknowledge people who rock with us, man, because people be feeling it when we don't do a show. And people tune in and people respond. And we have sneak listeners who are also listening but won't admit it, and they're trying to do the same show the next day. Shout out to you. Shout out to the sneak listeners. Welcome to the show, sneak listener. Get your notepad out, because tonight is going to be a course on how you do content. I don't like to use the word podcast. I don't like that. That's some bullshit. That ain't what I do. I'm a personality, right? I'm fucking with y'all. No, man, I'm nice, man. I'm nice on a Monday night. I see Dion. There's a chat room. Naturally, there's a chat room. Dion says, okay, Kev, I'm in this motherfucker. Stop bullshitting. I was trying to look. I'm having a lapse with some audio issues over here. I might have to replace a piece of equipment. Black people leave the E off. I got to get some new equipment, right? Like, you ain't got no refrigerator. You got a refrigerator. That's the foundation of Black Americans said. You muted, Mike. You muted, Kamar.
It ain't even an R in there. It's just refrigerator.
Just refrigerator. Right. Take both R's out. Dion says, hell yeah, spit that shit, Mr. Carter. Mama Jenkins, how you doing? She said, "Good evening, my outlaw family. Let's make it do what it do." Absolutely. That's what we're gonna do. Shout out to Mama Jenkins, man. Give it up for Mama Jenkins. Love it. Mama Jenkins is viral. Don't sleep. Let's go bankrupt then. That will forever be a great point. I don't care. I don't know, you can. That's what you're supposed to say to them when they say, "But you don't understand. If we don't do this, we're gonna go bankrupt." Well, let's go. Fuck you doing? Let's go. Buckle up, nigga. That's some tight shit. Ben Gallego. The two L's. Is it Gallego or Gallego? He said, "These fins up, homie." Yeah, peace and love, peace and love. We know. Almighty, almighty, almighty. Right. We know all of that, man. What's up, Self and them? I fuck with them dudes. I'm not a vice lord, but I always rock with them. Real cool brothers.
It was always cool. I used to fuck with CVLs. They had the cane and the top hat and the Playboy.
Yeah. CVL, man, come on, man. Bunch of them brothers, man. We brothers. We say, what's happening, brother? It's the People's News Network. You gotta think about this shit now.
Some smooth ass cats.
Look, I'm cerebral if nothing else. It's the People's Network, and my group is called the People's News Network.
Right,
Come on, man. I'm just from Capital, so we do things a little bit different. We process it in a different manner. Enough gangbanging. Mama Jenkins, she said we gonna learn today. We learning, ain't we? It never stops, Mama Jenkins. Ewok the Great out in AZ, who comes from the mill by way of Chicago. Shout out to Ewok the Great in Arizona. Dion said, "I hope we all be at the soft opening 8:05 at the Sherman Phoenix." I'm planning on being there. I'm trying to get some apparel printed. I'm having a real serious issue with getting anything done in terms of apparel because my wife is very busy. And so she's, it's like, damn, it's double Dutch. Damn, I can't. No, it ain't your go yet. Get back. So I got to wait till it's my turn. Listen, Mondays, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is what we do. Everybody, how the fuck you when you do the show? My old uncles be calling, boy, I try to keep up with it. I don't know what day it be. It's Mondays and Wednesdays. 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time until we choose to cut the machine off. Understand that. And support your boy. The one thing y'all can do tonight is just share the show because we're going to talk some good shit. And everybody's going to have something to talk about. I guarantee you, I'm going to lay a bet right now. When I get this motherfucker popping, everybody going to have an opinion about everything we talk about tonight. And they're going to want to put in on it. And if they want to do that, then they need to dial 262-202-5131. And come on in, brother.
Man, I've been watching them old clips of Macho Man, one of the greatest to ever do it, man.
Oh, man.
One of the greatest Macho Man clips are him and Dusty Rhodes. Those
man, the American dream, baby. Come on,
right.
What you talking about? Look, I'm a kid of the 80s, man. So that's what we grew up on is the wrestling. And so I be watching Dark Side of the Ring and all this kind of shit.
I be watching that shit too, man.
I be watching that shit, man. I'm telling you, I grew up in the 80s. The motherfuckers was like, those are Marvel movies.
Right.
You got these superheroes. Now you be like, no, they be bleeding for real. People used to tell you when you was little wrestling fake, you get mad. Like, no, it ain't, motherfucker. Old school shit. He said, let me catch Ewok. He said, folks in them be watching too. Of course, man. Listen, man, we all black at the end of the day. Of course. Shout out to folk in them, man. Look, I learned a very important lesson a long time ago, man. It was about the number. It was about the price. It was about the profit. I'm not linked to no nigga with no invisible ties. Like, right? So if a brother is a good brother and he's a solid dude, I rock with him. We got away from that a long time ago, especially when I realized that some people who was looking like me was doing more damage to me than folk them was. So we all foundational black at the end of the day.
Some of Kev big homies kept me and my homies straight through the drought. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. Teamwork make the dream work, right?
You know what I mean? Hey, look, and we on two different sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, that's right. What he said. Blue and red make green. Go on, cast
right up.
Man, listen, man. When it meant something, for what it's worth, when it's not really. It's a different thing now. But back then, it really, because when we had a directive that you ain't supposed to rock with the other side, you really couldn't rock with them. Right. You had to grow and learn. Like, nah, man, that's some stupid shit. But you keep your principalities in order, and as long as there's no disrespect, then there won't be no disrespecting. Right. So my fist won't have to get to fisting. Sean Mo, what it do, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on, KB? Dr. Carter, Professor Real.
Peace,
Bro,
peace.
you don't know 730 means 730, man.
I know you got to explain to me your version of 730 because I know you see things differently than everybody else.
No, I mean a 7, a 3, and a 0. You said 730, man. Start the show on time, brother.
Oh,
that's all I'm at.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
all I'm at.
So you calling in with a request? I think you want me to play your favorite song. It's called "Hung the Fuck Up On." It's by Atlantic Start. Old school jam. You might enjoy it. Hey man, it's all good, man. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing. What are we talking about tonight?
Man, a little bit of everything. I'm gonna put some paint where it ain't, man, and do what other niggas can't. I'm just saying, it's just part of my repertoire. I don't want to have to get to vernacularly doing surgery on frontal lobes to
don't do that. Don't
straighten
do it.
out
Don't
pituitary
do it.
glands and whatnot. Fucking with your mind. No, listen. I had a great weekend, man. It was a dope weekend, and I'm telling y'all, my garden is. I don't know, man. I didn't count on my garden to give me the kind of peace that it gives me, man.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Also, I got this thing where, especially if I'm feeling really good, I'll put my old music up on Facebook, but I'm gonna take it down the next morning. But it just reminds me, every time I listen to it, it just reminds me of how good of time I was actually having at that point. I was having a fucking great time at that when I was doing that shit. So it just reminds me of that. Like, damn, man. Fuck, we was doing something. We thought we was fucking husbands in Milwaukee and shit. Like we thought we was a mob, man. This shit was real. We was having a good time. But so how was your weekend, Kamar? How was your weekend?
Man, my weekend was great, man. It was great. Okay. Saturday I had a couple events. It went down well, everything went well. Then Sunday I was at the Sherman Phoenix. They had the what they call it live on the front porch, or the front porch series.
Yeah.
And a cigarette break was there, and man, they brought the city out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was so live in that motherfucker, man. Like I was upset when it was over. You know what I'm saying? Just for the music purposes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, it was live, man. You know what I mean? The people came out, they supported. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. Then Sunday, I did that. Then after that on Sunday, I went up to the Blues Fest. You know what I mean? Got a little action in up there, you know what I'm saying, for an hour or so before I turned it on into the crib, man. And it was a beautiful thing up there too at the Blues Fest.
Yeah. Come on, man. Y'all better stop playing with my city when it's warm and you got a little change in your pocket, right? A little gas in your whip. Ain't nothing like it. You can go, I've been in Atlanta. I'm in Orlando. I don't give a fuck. When it go right, well, what MJG say back in the days? I'm smoking good, drinking yak and riding candy. Shit to make a bullshit day feel dandy.
Dandy.
Hell yeah. It's the shit in the summer. Now, Real, you wanted the juice lady to be here because there's more celebrities on Outlaw Radio. Everybody's on their whole shit. So talk about your thing y'all did, man.
Oh yeah, it was flying, man. She invited me to be interviewed for my book, and actually they opening the doors up to any authors for the Milwaukee Black Chamber of Commerce. It's called Explore Us, and they got their own Roku channel, and they about to start getting that shit cracking more closer to the holidays, but they want to interview Milwaukee authors and give them a chance to just speak on their book. So it was an honor and a privilege that she considered me, and it was also fly to see how the other side worked. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to us doing ours live, so no holds barred. But with theirs, it was like, okay, cut. Now say it again this way. Okay, cut. No. And it's like, okay, I guess this is what the fuck I got to deal with if I ever go into television.
But no. Listen, don't ever tell me to cut when I'm popping my shit.
I mean,
Like, wait till I'm done talking and then say cut.
Hey, because I
You
can't
don't
say
tell
it
me
again
that.
like that.
I could, but I'm gonna
that
be
was
mad at you
it
for
was
interrupting my flow. I'd be like, hey, you gotta let me get my shit off, man. What you doing?
But that's what I learned too. You know, they was like, can you try to contract your response into about 45-second snippets? And I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, when you're doing more of the TV side, it's a little more, you gotta kind of digitize that shit. I guess I say cut it up in a
Yeah,
nice
if you're making a movie,
cubes.
if you're making a show, what you do is you say you got 45 seconds to get your shit off. You got
Yeah.
a floor director. When they do this, wrap it up, B. I'm not. Can you go back and say it again with a little more? What the fuck is
Right.
this? A play?
Yeah,
A Shakespeare play?
it usually is somebody to
It's a
let you
floor
know.
director.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I went to
Hey,
school for this shit. I did live the newscast every day at noon. We had to do the
Okay.
newscast.
Yeah.
So it's the fucking motherfucker in your earpiece. That's the studio director. There's the floor director, and there's back in the days they had cameramen. Now they got remote control cameras,
Yeah.
right? But it'd be somebody standing there or somebody in your ear saying, "Okay, we going to break," or "Kevin, you on camera too." You got to know what fucking camera to look at.
Yeah. So
it ain't
it
no,
was
but you
flying to
don't
kind
pause
of
the
get that
scene.
taste to the I guess
Yeah.
TV broadcaster element. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. It better not
Hey,
have me
remember
on there.
a while back though, I told y'all, man, the Chamber of Commerce. I think Kevin, you asked like, well, you know what I mean, what they doing. I'm like, man, they putting that money out here. You know what I
Right.
mean? They get putting that money out here. They doing what they supposed to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Courtney actually said that he had expressed some interest in coming on the show on Outlaw Radio. So I don't know. I don't have the details. I was hoping she would be able to, come in and talk about that because he's
Hey,
welcome to come.
I was actually talking to the person who in charge of their marketing and everything, Vivica Fox, Xavier Fox, not Vivica.
Oh, I was like,
I was
damn.
gonna say, damn, you
Xavier Fox is the
want
lady.
some sea moss?
She worked for Ruben, and I was actually talking about bringing her on the show too. So maybe we could get both of them at the same time.
I mean, shit, man. We are family, right? Everybody's welcome, man. I don't listen. I'm telling you, with Outlaw Radio, that's what I'm saying. We will work with anybody. We just don't rock with everybody. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting us to become, bosom buddies if you come on the show, and it's not like that. And as far as people who are on the show as contributors, that's a little bit more organic than people would understand because I don't look for people to be on the show. I'm not walking around saying I'm looking for co-hosts. Whoever that person is supposed to be eventually has gravitated to the role. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. I've been doing this shit 9 years. And I can say legitimately over 12 co-hosts that I've tried or brought in or tried to connect with. And they've all, except for Kamar. Kamar came in probably about 6, 7 years in. Well, no, I was about 4 years in. And so he's been with me ever since. But Kamar done seen motherfuckers walk in the door, walk the fuck out the door. Like, dude ain't coming this week? I guess not.
So, I don't watch the motherfucker leave because of me.
That type of shit, right? Complete explosion of, damn, we just had a show last week. Hey, we still gonna come back on Monday. It is what it is, man. I said all that to say congratulations, man, to you. I'm glad you're getting a little taste of what this thing is about because I think you are a brother who really has something to say and a perspective that needs to be represented, especially for our youngsters, man. I really that's why I said, man, if dude, and I told Kamar, I said, man, if little bro wanna rock with us, man, tell him he welcome. And I didn't even ask you if you want to be on the show. You just start being on it. And I had to call you and say, hey man, my fault. Did you want to be on the show?
Right.
Like, yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, huh? I guess I'm kind of already on it. Yes, man. This is funny how shit happens. And if you want to hear the whole story, you can go to Tone Deaf Podcast and listen to Kamar and myself when we got interviewed by Tycee Gassi and my sister Samantha Carly. I'm sorry, brain fart. Definitely Samantha Carly and Team Teal. It was just even our interaction just kind of came. It wasn't no ad, no newspaper, it's just God is good, man. God is good. Yes, sir. John Fletcher said, get that money, fam. You have a tight business, take it to the next level. Yes, Kamara, you do. You do. You do.
Yeah,
It's
Thank you.
about getting that bread, man. So, like I said, man, it's a lot going on tonight. I'm always with these kinds of nights where I'm nice and I'm kind of itching. Where should I start? Where should I start? I get excited. I get worked up. I have a panic attack. Then it's got to breathe and say,
yeah.
let's start
There you go.
where it's most important. Statistically, our mayor, backed by a few other respected individuals, highly positioned individuals, stood at a press conference and told us, I need for somebody to turn Good Times off. Who's trying to watch JJ and them? Or turn What's Happening off, right? You ain't gonna see Roger rerun tonight. Turn your shit off. Let you with that AM radio, Sean. You can't be having no Walkman on while you're doing the show, man. What's that?
I'm at the restaurant, man. Cool out.
See, you always somewhere you ain't supposed to be doing the show. You can't do a show from McDonald's, man. And then you got the music playing in the background. Come on, man. Come on, man. This is what I'm saying. Good help is hard. Good help is hard to find. But okay, so they stood in front of these cameras and told us that statistically, homicide is down in Milwaukee. And first off, let me say that they all said that this is no time to celebrate or nothing to celebrate. You can reference this article in the Journal Sentinel. It's the head of it is homicide is down in Milwaukee, and really nobody knows why. They're having a hard time explaining why homicide is down. Well, this gives us a bunch of interesting takes because the individual, and I should have names, but I don't because I don't tell you what to think. I'm just telling you to think. It's in the People's News Network as well as the Journal Sentinel. The head of the homicide division in Milwaukee, the city of Milwaukee, I'm saying, says, well, it could be a whole lot of different things because while homicides are down, shootings are up. In particular, youth shootings. Babies.
Aim just bad. They just got bad aim.
Right.
He said, a lot of these homicides, a lot of these shootings could very well be homicides. I guess people are surviving. I guess I don't know if he didn't have any kind of medical back. Motherfuckers still getting shot. They're just living, right? So
they some little zombies.
So, and then, but it's so much into because almost every other crime is up, but homicide is down. But they still also made the point that it's nowhere near the level it was pre-pandemic, which was so much lower. Keep in mind, in the city of Milwaukee, we've broken a homicide record that stood for almost 30 years. It was established in, I believe, 1992 when I was a jit in the streets. Shit went crazy. And what was it, 165? Well, we smashed that by about 5 years in a row. So there's a slight decrease in the deaths. So I don't know, but everybody kept saying this is no reason to celebrate. They named all these reasons why it could be. They talked about this indictment they executed earlier in the spring that took something like 63 people off the street who were allegedly in this whole kind of cycle of shooting, looting, killing, and recruiting is what I call it. Because that's what happens in the pit, right? And so they said they removed these people. They don't know if that's. So I just wanted to get y'all take on it. Do you feel safer now that you know homicide is down a little bit? They of course didn't mention reckless driving deaths, which I think is a different, that's homicide too. But it's categorized it how you feel. What y'all think about this, man?
I don't think it'll make nobody feel safer. You know what I mean? Shit. And I don't think nobody should be worrying about why. Just be happy that it is down.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're putting too much into it.
Okay. Okay, I can see it from that perspective. I feel like it's I guess I'm a little bit more cynical about it, right? But I get what you're saying. Fonzarelli, what you think about this, man?
Shit, I mean, people still getting shot. I still look around. You know what I'm saying? I still look around. I still make sure I try to be ready so I ain't got to get ready and shit. So ain't nothing changing around here, even if the numbers is down.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess my whole point of this is why in the fuck even have a press conference anyways about the shit? You can't tell me less motherfuckers died, but more people got shot. I don't know how to find a silver lining in this cauldron.
Hey, the motherfuckers that got shot laying up pissed listening to that shit, like, man.
Fuck you mean homicide down, nigga? I'm still in freighter. I mean, listen, the fact that children, we had a period where I guess it was about 5 days in a row where a child, I'm talking about under 10 years old, was shot every day. So what the fuck you telling me this? Homicide's actually down. That sounds like some shuffling shit. That sounds like some. I hear a banjo playing in the background. I don't know. Do you need positive reinforcement, City Hall, or because like for you to keep repeating, well, we're not patting ourselves on the back. We're not celebrating. We still got a lot of work to do. Then what the fuck did you say it
Sound
for?
like it. Sound like it.
Especially since we're only in month 7. Y'all know how Milwaukee do. We can have 4 of the worst months in terms of homicide that you've ever seen and still smash the record from last year.
Yeah.
So why tell me about this? It's like coming to work and being happy you made it to your lunch break. Like, we made it to lunch, man. Fuck, you got 4 more hours.
Right.
You got a whole bucket of chicken. Talking about we made it to lunch. Boy, you better eat one piece. You got 4 more hours to work. Listen, and we always say shame on me because I talk about the need to, discuss positivity sometimes and not focus on the negative narratives. But I'm just being honest on, okay, so have you ever talked to somebody who was lying to you or who was bullshitting you and you absolutely knew they was full of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you was thinking to yourself, like, it sounds like you trying to convince yourself because you sure ain't convincing me.
Yeah.
I stopped believing you 9 paragraphs ago. Matter of fact, I'm sitting here thinking about lunch tomorrow. I always want to. I think it's time for me some new Air Max. I'm thinking about videos, and you still stand in front of me talking. I've been stopped listening to you. So I know he got an election coming up. That's what it comes down to. This is PR, right? This is PR. Stop it. If you don't get your little ass back in the office and start coming up with some more shit. Now, shout out to all them dudes that's trying to do something. I seen Reggie Moore. I seen a bunch of brothers down there saying, 414s, they're being invested in, 414 Life, and shout out to the violence interrupters. But come on, man. Tell me about this shit at the end of the year when you say, y'all know what, we cut homicides by 20 last year. Don't tell me about the shit right now. You talking about, well, we behind the pace we was at last year. Last year we was at a record-setting pace. Fuck you so happy for? It's crazy. Mama Jenkins in the chat room, she said, bullshit, last week these motherfuckers had a shootout behind my home. 42 shots were fired and cops recovered 22 casings. No one got killed, but my neighbor garage had 4 bullets in it. These sons of bitches were shooting like they was in Iraq. Cops checked my cameras, but they didn't come through my yard because I got barbed wire on my fence. Shout out to Mama Jenkins for having barbed wire on her fence, right? You just put me up on some shit.
Right.
Barbed wire on my shit. You can bring your ass on top of that son bitch. You're going to have a memory for life.
Right.
He can never forget.
Well, I think it's for you to say homicides are down, but shootings are up. They cancel each other out. Same problem.
Which means there's going to be more residual violence from those shootings. So,
yeah, you're right, Sean.
Right. It's a good ad. It's a good ad one. Right. Because that's also true. But I'm just saying, like, I just felt like it was just a. I'm like, what is this? Is this smoking? We did a show called Smoke and Mirrors, didn't we? Oh, you talked about, what most you go see magic in the theater. You say, oh my God, he's a magician. Smoke and mirrors, motherfucker. It's an illusion. Right. It's an illusion. I'm like, what? Hang your hat on something, brother. One thing you've done is you've signed a very controversial tax increase, which some people say was necessary, but the stipulations that were involved with it, like I said, did you at least pinch the bitch? You went so easily. I just felt like you brought your own lubricant. Like, no, don't use that, use this. Right? I know. That was fucked up. That was even fucked up on my behalf. It was him, though. It wasn't me. I don't do shit like that. But that's the way Milwaukee took it. I said on that show, Milwaukee's become a crack whore. That's what Milwaukee did. We got down on our knees for Madison. These let her slap us around and choke us out. You could have gave us taxpayers money for assistance without attaching any kind of stipulations to it. It should have been more noise made about that than anything. It shows that you still have a passive what do they call them? Viable Negroes, affable Negro mentality. Some people call them handkerchief heads, but I won't do that. I'll call you affable. Just know anybody out there, if I ever say you're an affable dude, that means I'm really dissing you. That means you basically a coon. You shuffle. So if I say, man, you's an affable cat. You say, thanks, man. I'd be laughing in my head. Like I just insulted the shit out of you and you don't know it. I know I'm an asshole. Call in 262-202-5131, man. We got Fonzarelli in the building. Celebrity. I got a celebrity cast now, man. This is something I've never had where everybody on the show was a celebrity in their own right. Motherfuckers getting interviews and shit and got businesses and opening up brick and mortar locations. I don't know, man. I got to step my game up and shit. I don't know what else it is I need to do, but it's something else. It's always something else. So we're gonna get to that. We'll keep that going. If you got an opinion about it, I still think for you to tell me, "Hey, homicides is down," but then say, "Yeah, but more motherfuckers getting shot." I'm like, if I'm at the press conference, I'm like, and you call us here for what? What the fuck you telling us? So it's just like, man, now there's some we ask about this too, and I want to be fair because I like to be subjective and objective at the same time, if that's possible at all, right? It's just for journalistic integrity. I think you need to create a certain sense of balance when we do this microphones. There are initiatives that they've established, I guess, amongst the police department. I've been asking this, what's their strategy? And so supposedly they have organized where, they got the shot spotter and they have squads who are designated to really chase that. Because if all the police chasing gunshots, you got a shot spotter, whereas and police, this Keystone Capers. So you gotta have cops say, no, you shot spot chase. They said they've concentrated on hot, areas in the city. I don't know how well this has worked, but I'd like to hear them say this is what we've tried. There's also another part. There's also another squad that they have, another group of people is an acronym. Once again, I should have this shit, but I don't. I didn't write the shit down. But they are people who are basically mobile, can form mobile task force to deal with certain situations. And so they have these initiatives. Go into People's News Network and read the article. So I just wanted to know. It was a very long article. It talked about, they said that.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on. So I just want to get this one last thing that they blame the violence on. They said after the pandemic, basically the pandemic shut everything down. And I'm here to tell you, in terms of social services, it did. Motherfucker shit was closed. Like whatever help you was getting from them, they didn't even know when they was coming back, and some of them didn't come back. A lot of social service agencies got rid of programs. Like we ain't gonna even bring that shit back. So afterwards, and I know people like to shit on social services and nonprofits, but the work they do in the community is very important. And so they said that this had an impact as well on the rise in violence after the pandemic. Go ahead, Sean.
So shit. Here we go.
You forgot.
Damn it.
You forgot. I understand.
Yeah, I forgot it.
You gotta start writing it down, man. You need a notepad. You need one of them little tablets or something. Just write my shit down. Write it down before the show. Get your talking points.
I know I want to say. Whatever, man. So listen. They have all these task forces and coming up with all these task forces, right? Are we forgetting that the police, their main job is not to stop crime? I don't even think that's in their protocol to stop crime. They investigate and arrest. They don't stop crime. They are not a deterrent.
Okay. So you don't think the mere presence of them in a community will deter some individuals from doing certain things?
No, because they're not going to stay no longer than 2, 3, 4 minutes.
Okay.
It's not a deterrent.
Okay.
I know up this corner going to the alley, I know they'll be off the corner in a minute. So yeah, it's not a deterrent, boss.
Okay. I don't know. Y'all tell me if y'all out there doing crime and you leave when the police come, call in and tell me. I don't know. I'd have to talk to criminals who say, Kev, I left them. Because we used to have this thing called hot. So if we go to a certain area and if I see them sitting there for 5 minutes, I'll be like, this shit hot, I'm up. It's showing me that they're already patrolling the area. So why the fuck I stick around? They'll be gone in 5 minutes. They'll be back in 10. What you talking about? They're patrolling. That was my mentality, though. That's also why I never caught an F, I guess. But people say, well, you wasn't no real criminal. I could take that too. I've been called worse. But check this out. I think to police strategically is the most important part. It's not important to have a big budget. It's important to be efficient with the budget that you have. So I don't need for you to come to me constantly and tell me how we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have this. I need for you to come to me and explain what you're accomplishing with your limitations so that I can know what you need, right? It's like your kid come to you crying and you can't, what's wrong? What you want. Nothing happens until the kid says, oh, I slammed my head in the door. See, I told you about, then you can correct the situation. Now go on over there and sit down. You get some ice. Now we can deal with it. But as long as you crying and bitching and moaning, I can't hear it. I can't, it's not coming through. Like I said, my mother tell me anytime I walk in the house crying, when you stop crying, you'll get some help for whatever the fuck it is bothering you. I had to figure it out. Like, I hit my head. All right, now come in here. Let me help you out. So, but I hear you though, Sean. I hear you. Shout out to Ewalk, man, and shout out to anybody that's listening. Once again, it's Outlaw Radio live from the basement on a Monday night. Hit the line. It's 262-202-5131. It's scrolling. Let me put the banner up because I didn't even put the banner up. Let me put the banner up. There we go. 262-202-5131. You can call in. Chat room's popping. My sister Alexandria Brewer, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Anybody out there that's listening, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Hey, share the show. Share it as much as possible because I'm starting to understand that the shares and the like contribute to where you are in the algorithm. So we need to kind of start trying to manipulate the algorithm a little bit. I don't, so put it out there, man. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. There we go. Now, Ernest, you just hit it. I'm gonna hit you up, Ernest, because I see your comment, but I see Mama Jenkins hit me with a monster. So let me see what she's saying. She says, "Listen up over here. These little bastards are stealing cars and fucking with people. Shit. I've come to the conclusion that all them tax funded programs are not working. That's how I found out how many shots was fired. But I stayed on the line for 27 minutes to talk to a cop. 911 is always on hold and asks a million questions. There's no solution from no leader in this city. All week they got meetings for prevention, but the thugs are not the ones that's gonna be there." Mama Jenkins, I totally agree with you. You ain't said nothing, but all you speaking is pure truth. All you speaking is pure truth. And when I said that the programs do something, I believe they all accomplish something, but they're limited in what they do. They're all limited because they all have a lane, right? So, and you say, well, I've helped 3 people. Well, 30 people got shot. Now, what's successful? Saving 3 or losing 30? I don't know. That's where we go with that. In terms of the work I've done in social services, because I know I've always, anybody who I ever encountered in social services, I helped them in, around, about, in every kind of way, whatever was there, even above, to say, well, this ain't part of what we're doing, but you should do this. And that's just what I do. Now, not everybody ain't done that. So I get that. But yeah, the city's still wilding, Mama Jenkins. That's what I'm saying. I didn't understand the purpose for this press conference in the first place. Was this an update? Was this is this what you're gonna do now? Because if this goes left and those percentages go back up, are you then gonna have another press conference and say, y'all know what we doing apparently ain't working? Or you gonna say, well, this is not an overnight solution and we knew eventually it could get to this place. But then why the fuck you had a press conference in the first place? You should have just shut the fuck up until shit was done. Tell me what you doing. Tell me what you've done. I don't really care. Everybody's doing something, right? You go anywhere, somebody got a car. Hey, man, look, yeah, man, that makes socks, man. That make herbal socks, man. You have problems with your ankles, man. I'm trying to tell you, man.
Why they gotta be herbal socks?
Can't help it, man. The asshole in me just comes out. I gotta insult somebody. I don't feel like I'm doing my job if I don't really insult nobody. I don't know. What the fuck is wrong with me, Kamar? That was a shot, wasn't it? See?
Yeah,
that's that bullshit I be on. Yeah, what to do, big homie?
Hey, man, what's happening, man? Happy Monday to all the real outlaws out there. Hey, but check it out, though. I wanted to, like we beating a dead horse, man. We all know crime is profitable.
Come on now. Crime is very profitable. It keeps the police with a job. It keeps the fireman and the first response people with a job. Keeps the ER with jobs. Keeps judges and probation officers with jobs. There is no cure for crime. You understand what I'm saying? Like come on, man. We all know this, man. Have you ever seen a judge get laid off or a DA? You don't even hear about them downsizing. You hear about the caseload too high. Man, these white folks are go crazy. Let them do what they can say they did in Chicago. They're masked up to do drive-bys just to be out here to do something because crime is profitable. And until we realize crime is profitable, you know what I'm saying? Chevy don't care about that. Barrett didn't care about it. Nobody, because they know that as long as they keep the police out here, they want to add more police. So that's telling you right there. You feel what I'm saying, okay?
I hear you, and they're saying that they are down about 200 officers, right? And so, but oh no, now Dion, I'm not ever gonna disagree with what you're saying because on Outlaw Radio we've conversed many a times about what I define as the conflict of interest. Because do you really want to stop crime in Milwaukee, in which most of the convicted individuals are people of color? So if you reduce their percentage in the penitentiary upstate, those little shithole towns that used to be cow towns, because we get killed by California. We get killed by California on milk and cheese now. So we just call it dairy state for practice, right? No more than we're still brew town or whatever. Microbreweries not included. But
I mean, to be honest with you, poverty is profitable.
Right. Of course. Well,
you know?
shit. Listen, I'm not no hypocrite. I've had a 22-year career. Guess what I've been doing? Helping poor people. I've been helping poor people. I help poor people professionally, which means if there was no crime, a lot of times I wouldn't have had a job because I did intensive case management with adjudicated teenage felons. I did all residential treatment for these. They committed a crime, so they got to see Mr. Barnes. I come through the door with my card, like, look here, I'm gonna be your wraparound care coordinator till you get off probation, young boy. So yeah, crime is profitable. Yeah.
Crime. You know, because then they put the white fear. You know, we ain't out in West Bend and Big Bend and Mosquito commit crime, but let white folks tell it. Then they put the white fear. So guess what white people going to do? They're going to buy more guns, going to buy more ammunition, and if a nigga come knocking on their door just looking for directions, they gonna shoot his ass through the door. That's why, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. That's why I be so numb to certain stuff. I mean, I can't do I care? I mean, I don't know. I can't say if I care. I can't say because I know. You know what I'm saying? I know. We just like with the voting thing, and we keep on. We've been going through this shit since Harry Truman was in office. You know what I'm saying? Since Woodrow Wilson was in office, trying to get treated as citizens, just for them to acknowledge us as black people, or just to acknowledge us as being human beings. We've been good, and then you know what, Kev? When we dead and gone, our kids and our grandkids, they gonna still be going through this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's just repeating itself over and over and over.
Well, now, hold on. These white folks now, hold on, Dion. Let's keep something in mind too. Let's not be so North American with our train of thought, because I can tell you, there's a lot of countries, and not that white ice is colder, but in Europe, in Germany, in Asia, and places like that, other countries that have millions of people that don't have the amount of violent crime that we have in America. So we can't say you can't do nothing to curtail crime. You got countries where their penitentiary is like boarding school. What is that? The Netherlands, where you go, you live in a luxury suite,
live in a little apartment,
right? And the guards don't even have pistols. Get your ass in that crib. You're like, all right, man, all right. Let me get back in my apartment.
We don't know they statistics of crime because we don't live there. No. Like Brazil and Chile and Venezuela, Mexico, they more violent than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because now you're talking about third world countries. Of course we know that you take your ass down in the favela in Brazil, you shit out of luck, hombre.
And the reason it's like that is because of poverty also.
Right.
Poverty too.
Yeah, because of poverty also.
There ain't too much poverty over there in Switzerland and the Netherlands and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's poor ass people who live in little ass raggedy
ain't
apartments with fucked up teeth.
Ain't that where Tom Berry went over there somewhere?
He
you
went
know
somewhere
what I'm
in
saying?
Germany.
And then you gotta,
Germany,
and then you also gotta,
Luxembourg.
you gotta also understand. Yeah, you gotta also understand their leadership is different. You know, like this poverty probably over there in North Korea, but if you say something about it, they gonna take your ass out in the middle of the night like they did Emmett Till. You know what I'm saying? So they system of government is different. Cause I go to the little what you call that cleaners down there on East Capitol, cross street from Chase. The guy was telling me that they from Vietnam, you know, they Vietnamese. It's clearly that caused some ecstasy. Guess what they did to him? They executed him. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, those system of governments over there. Look what happened to that girl in Dubai. She over there yelling at the motherfucker.
What you call it?
So
what you call it? Where was she at, D.I.? Where was she at?
She was in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? So over there, if you commit a crime or do something, I was just watching. Was that on your thing? I seen in Africa where they beat dudes to death and had them laying in the middle of the street. So they system of government is different over there, my man. You know, you do some shit over there. He put the
mill spin on that shit, didn't he? He put the mill spin. Dubai.
Yeah.
He didn't say Dubai.
He was in Dubai. Yeah, and she gonna say bye-bye too. Fucking around over there in the Islamic country.
She'll be back.
Well,
she gotta do some time.
If she be back, they might send her back in a pine box. I see that fucking around over there. 50, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know how them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So hey, I'm gonna get up off here and listen to y'all. I see those spying around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna finish listening to you guys, and you know, like I said, man. I mean, August 8th, man. You know, I'm gonna come down there and fuck with y'all, man. I'm gonna definitely put that on my calendar, man, because I want to, you know, shake hands with you.
What's
going on, goddammit? It's real nigga shit here. You feel me, though? But I'm gonna let y'all go, man, and finish jacking it down on y'all, man.
All right, he said she's over there in Dubai. From the north side, for real. I'm rocking with D.I., man. That's what's happening, man. That's outlaw shit. Mama Jenkins said on yesterday there was a gathering of people praying at the old Walmart. I didn't find out until it was happening. So I heard it on the gospel program. I wasn't able to go, but if I'd known, I would have went. Also, that Walmart area is a damn disgrace for us homeowners in this area. She said, I and all the city today. You call the city today to ask them to get someone over there and clean that shit up. But it's gonna be clean before the RNC. Yeah, whoever the leaders are over there, shame on them for what Midtown is right now. It's a disgrace. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Y'all could have just kept Capitol Court. I mean, listen, for what you've done, it's that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, and for them just to allow that Walmart to sit, yeah, I would agree with Mama Jenkins. And then they put the Barada bricks over there. I call them Barada bricks now. So you can't get, remember the kids gathered over there and got to shooting and looting, right? And as I say, but so yeah, and there's really no plan. They didn't came up and said, we're gonna do this with Walmart. We're gonna do, and it's not a whole lot of stuff. They don't have a high occupancy in that whole shit. And so from there to Hampton on Fond du Lac, that whole stretch, man, I just be honest with myself, like people, my goodness, man, how y'all let this happen? And I remember what it used to be like when it was nothing but businesses.
Right.
Businesses everywhere you looked, man. And so that has a lot to do with the lack of revenue generated, which creates a situation or either mismanagement that we have where, yeah, we at a fiscal cliff. How many fucking parking tickets can we write? How much more can we raise the cost of a goddamn bottle of water at the zoo? Shit, we're gonna have to raise taxes. In addition to this national inflation that we deal with. So, yeah, man, shitty all around, man. Shitty all around. It's horrible. Man, hit us up, man. Hit us up. Let us know how you feel about that shit. I feel like the state of the city, like I can't wait till he does his state of the city address. This is gonna truly be putting a wig on a pig. I can't wait to see it. How is he gonna dress this ugly bitch up? It's gonna be like, oh no, she's ugly, dog. We can see her. Like, what are you talking about? I know, man. It's horrible. It's a horrible example. Hey, hot shit all around though. A lot going on. We can keep that conversation going. I watched they clone Tyrone this weekend. Ewok is already coming to the chat room and said it was trash and that he didn't like it. I'm gonna do it like this. I see you, Erica Hunt. She said, "What up? How you doing, my sister?" She said, "Crime is profitable, and to watch people get away with crimes is very enticing when you are a recovering street hustler." Yeah, you feel like I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do, but you don't understand. You can do something different. That's what I would tell criminals. It's an addiction like everything else. Most of the time, when you in the game, if you in what we call the life, it ain't really about the money. It's about the lifestyle. More hustlers get addicted to the lifestyle. It ain't. That's why they blow through money so fast because they're not even valuing like, oh man, I gotta put this away and get this and that and this and that. It's just they fall in love with the lifestyle. And so when you see people, man, I'm trying to chill and I'm staying on the up and up, but your partner saying, dog, shit, you better come out and get some of this money. Fuck you talking about? It's enticing, but that's where your mental has to jump in at. And sometimes you got to look around and you have to, kind of get some priorities and reconfigure. That's a different show. I want to talk about they cloned Tyrone. I was hyped for this movie because we don't get black movies like we used to, right? And like now, if we do it, some old watered down bullshit, young people shit with like I watched the House Party remake. I'm still throwing up from that shit. Like what the fuck was that? That shit was ass, trash, garbage, dumpster fire. What the fuck was they thinking? But they clone Tyrone is a brilliant movie, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've heard many of us talk about it, and we know that there's been government programs in which it was MK Ultra, in which they've played games, they've taken a select group of people. Hell, with black people, we talk about the Tuskegee experiment. We have a natural distrust for the United States government and science, period. I tell you all the time, shout out to Samantha King. She brought this book down one time she was here from Madison. It's called Medical Apartheid. And it talks about the dark history of medical experimentation on Black Americans from colonial times to the present. The author is Harriet A. Washington. If you can get a hold of this book, and it's thick. It's a read because it's more than just the Tuskegee experiment. So when you look at that clone Tyrone, now first of all, I got to ask for I put out spoilers for y'all. Did either one of you get to watch this movie?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. So I don't want to spoil nothing. And first of all, the Easter egg for me, the biggest one when it first came on and let me knew this was going to be a good movie is when he went in the store and got a 40. The name of the 40 was Anaconda Malt Liquor, which comes from Black Dynamite, and which they put something in there to shrink black men's Johnsons. If you see Black Dynamite, as soon as I see Anaconda Malt Liquor, I said, "Oh shit!"
It was a lot of symbolism in that movie, man.
There was a lot of messages in there.
It was,
and it made you just kind of think about, wait a minute, because we had just done a show talking about cultural homogenization. First of all, Kamar, what did you think about the movie before we even expand on the narrative?
I liked it, man. You know what I mean? You know, I like movies with a lot of symbolism like that. You know what I mean? Stuff in it to make you think like, wait a minute, man, damn. I think that's just going on right now. You know what I mean? It was like I said, it was a lot of different stuff in there. You know what I mean? How they control the motherfucker. It was a part of the movie. They was talking about how they control the motherfucker, like with the music. You know what I'm saying? Like it was dope, man.
Well, it was two levels. Okay, before I go into it, Fonzarelli, what you think about the movie, man?
Man, I actually loved it. I love the fact that it took a lot of the shit that I talk about and presented it in a way that's more palatable for people who ain't into rabbit holes and shit. So I actually had a whole lot of videos today on TikTok just as dialogue about the movie because people were like, yeah, did you see that? Did you see that? And it's like, yeah. Like, matter of fact, I posted a post today that said, while everybody is hype about they clone Tyrone, go research MK Ultra. Go research DUMBs, deep underground military bases. Go research how they've proven that music does alter mind states and moods. Go research how red number 40 has been shown to cause hyperactivity and irrational behavior. Like this the shit I talk about all the time, but it was finally gift wrapped into a form of entertainment that niggas can handle it. Cause the good thing is when shit on Netflix, that's when shit get real. Because just like the whole R. Kelly thing, motherfuckers ain't give a fuck about what R. Kelly was doing until it was on Netflix. We all knew what the fuck R. Kelly was doing. But the outrage came when it was on Netflix.
Okay. Sean says it was all right, leaning towards garbage, reminded me of a play on movies of the 70s. First of all, let me say it was more 90s than 70s, but this is also a genre. This is almost like film noir. Like you have to understand that there's different types of movies. It's a different kind of cinematic style to what was done with the movie. Welcome to your opinion. Ewok says we already know what the symbolism is. The movie was garbage because any one of us could have written that whack shit. I didn't write it, and I'm a pretty good writer.
I think
we might know what the symbolism is, but everybody don't.
There's a lot of people who don't think it's even possible.
You know what I mean? We got to wake people up so they can know.
Right.
Yes.
And the way you do it is put that shit.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead, Rail.
No, I was just saying put that shit in movies.
Yeah, right. And I was gonna say that the good what I appreciate about it is like I love African studies. And in Brazil, they have a martial art that comes from Angola called capoeira. And the reason capoeira was so dangerous is because when the slave masters saw it, they thought it was just a bunch of niggas turning cartwheels, acting a fool, until it was time for them niggas to bust heads. So I like that this was almost like a cinematic capoeira because it's like, oh, this is a blaxploitation movie. You got a hoe, a drug dealer, and a pimp as superheroes.
Stereotypes.
But on the
stereotypes.
Right.
What I say, Jamie Foxx was fucking hilarious.
When they flick something, I like them shit.
Listen,
and the gold revolver he had. That gold
revolver says, shout out to TR Arthur. She said, "Good evening, Kevin, Kamar, and Rail. Now, how you doing, my sister?"
Peace.
She said if I wrote it, it would have been good, not low budget garbage. I don't think people understand how much it costs to make a movie. Because if you think that movie was low budget, you really don't understand movie making. That movie was not low budget. It's a style. It's a style to do it. You want to see low budget? Watch Tubi, which I love. But the quality of that movie and Tubi, even the camera work, the cinematics, all of that. I guess it's one of the things where Kamar made a very good point one time. What were people? People were upset about something we had watched, something that was like I think it was Chappelle. And people were saying it wasn't funny, it was stupid. And Kamar said, I just think some people ain't smart enough to appreciate the humor. I think it went over their head.
Right. Yeah. I'm not calling up. You got different kind of comedy. You know what I'm saying? You got the comedy where it's just I'm gonna talk about you, you know what I mean? Make motherfuckers laugh from talking about you. Then you got motherfuckers that's like Dave Chappelle. He gonna make you think about some shit. He gonna talk about some shit that's in the news. You know what I mean? Some shit people weren't thinking about and make a joke out of it. You know, it's two different types of comedy.
If you felt like it was stereotypical, it was supposed to be. If you looked at the characters and said, look at them niggas, you were supposed to. That was what, if you didn't look at the line outside the chicken joint was around, and then they was in their part, they went to church and said, what the hell? The old women in the church was twerking. He said, man, something ain't right. Now, it's different because the point was that he said that they didn't clone everybody. Only certain individuals that perpetuated negativity in the community. That's why Jamie Foxx, as the pimp, was cloned. The drug dealing dude was cloned. Everybody else was programmed because of the products, the hair cream, the malt liquor, the fried chicken, the music. Everybody else was controlled through their experiments through that. So I thought the shit was funny. I thought it was very clever. Now, when I watch a movie, I don't need to be rolling around on the floor like, I mean, this ain't Def Comedy Jam. You know, this ain't, I'm not a little kid, but if I could say, that's That's clever. And so I think people have to understand, yeah, you may have heard this stuff before, but I think it's better to put that out here, some entertainment, than my booty hole brown or whatever the fuck it is. Like I rather like so because once again, I understand there's people who appreciate that. I'm just saying I can appreciate this. Dion says I watched Paul Mooney last night and that was revolutionary. Absolutely. Nobody could ever take nothing from Paul Mooney.
Right.
But I just don't, people. I just thought the movie was very clever, man. And when some
I thought it was clever as well. You know? And it reminds you of in the Bible when they say, "Let those who have ears to hear" type shit, because everybody ain't gonna catch it. I'm just curious about. Hopefully, it penetrates the younger generation who actually have the boldness to seek out the rest of that information, because it was so many gems and jewels in that shit that if you just want to watch a motherfucking Boys in the Hood or some shit like that, then yeah, you ain't gonna like it. I hate those kind of movies, real shit. But I could appreciate this one because, like I said, it was an art to the way the message was delivered, and it couldn't have been low budget. It had Jamie Foxx. It had the British motherfucker
John Boyega from Star Wars.
Yeah, from Star Wars. It had Kiefer Sutherland in it. This ain't no low budget ass shit.
And I think too, and Sean, I hear you. He said, "What entertains you don't entertain everybody." That's fine. I would tell them to talk about. They should review it on their podcast. That's why I'm reviewing it on my podcast, because I like the movie. You have a right. If you don't like it, you don't like it. We talking about the good parts of it. I'm glad both of y'all understood the depth of it. It's just like it goes along with a lot of people would listen to Scientists and Engineers by Killer Mike with Andre 3000 and Future and not get the genius in that song. If you don't hear what Andre says, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as you got your portion of the rent, right? Like that's the only thing that matters.
Right.
When he talk about, I don't like going where I'm tolerated. I go where I'm like, you got to listen to this whole thing. And even when Killer Mike says I used to be good with the dealing, but even that shit has a ceiling. This is shit your mind has to. You got to be keen to it. I could understand some people didn't like it. I seen
see, look, and then with hip hop, even you know what I mean. You got music that's like that too. That's for thinkers.
Right.
You know what I mean. Right. You got to be a thinker to like this type shit, certain type of shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mama Jenkins said she didn't watch it. She said it was on. Well, yeah, it's on Netflix right now. Ernest Walker, he walked the great. He says, I recognize what they were trying to do, but it still sucked. You have your opinion. I thought it was put together well. I thought I watch a movie for different, I'm looking at the cinematography, I'm looking at the editing, I'm looking at the script. And I want to make this point, Kamar. I'm like Kanye said, I'm gonna let you finish. Change didn't really happen in that movie until all of those characters individually start saying, what the fuck am I doing? Who am I? Right. Why am I stuck in this rut? This ends up to him realizing that he's been going to knock on the door to talk to his mother for years, who's not even in there.
Yeah.
Not even in there. And they're cloning him over and over to be this dope dealer. That's we gonna keep the drugs flowing in the community. So, I thought it was when they all start saying, well, wait a minute, hold on. And even his realization that, wait a minute, I'm a fucking clone. And the girl, the sister, was the only one who was not a clone. And she was like, well, when they put the wig cream on her head and she had a wig on, they put the hair cream on, but she had a wig on. And so the hypnosis didn't. You got to watch it, man. It's a good movie. And watch it even if you don't like it. It's black people. Just watch it and see if you come out of it and say, I watched it, Kev, I didn't like it. Hey, at least you supported.
I would say, hey, look, if you don't like nothing else, man, you could just watch it for the comedy of Jamie Foxx, man. He had me laughing through the movie. Little funny subtle shit he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
funny as shit. Funny as shit. Right. And some of us ain't gonna watch a movie if they gonna watch it because he supposed to play a pimp in this.
Right.
I'm gonna see what kind of pimp he was. Oh, dude's supposed to be the dope man. I'm gonna see they watching and somebody's gonna end up saying, hold on, man. What you telling me? I'm trapped in a vicious cycle and I'm just perpetuating it.
I'm a pawn in this perpetuation. A
Right.
fucking pawn of perpetuation in this mother.
Yeah. And then you get to the end and you only figure out at the end that there's nobody in the movie named Tyrone.
Right.
Right.
The dude sees himself, the same clone they got in down wherever that was is in LA saying, wait the fuck up. His guy said, ain't that you? He said, ain't that you? So you gotta watch it, man. If you just watch it to get an opinion, man. Have something. Black people always like, fuck that shit. I don't talk about it. Damn. All right. Aggressive motherfucker.
Minister Society was great.
Right. Yeah.
Minister Society was great. Boys in the Hood was great. Like, okay, so y'all okay seeing niggas shoot each other for no reason because it's just hood stories.
The same motherfuckers that watch Power and BMF and act like this shit is.
Oh, that shit great. Snowfall is great.
Come on, man. Right.
Drugs
and I love Snowfall
too,
but I still say
subliminal messages is whack and shit.
Right. I think sometimes, it's like me, the difference between me listening when I first started listening to Outkast. And I know they kind of strayed away from it, but one of the best things about Southern Playalistic was that it was a mixture of soul, gospel, funk, hip hop, and it was revolutionary. There's a lot of pro-black messages in there, right? And so you had your ear. I heard a dude from New York diss Outkast one time. I was listening to Star, and he said, "Outkast is the greatest group. Come on, get that bullshit out of here. Yeah, Mobb Deep." I said, "Nah, bro. Two totally different levels of music and understanding." So check the movie out, man. I would recommend y'all check it out, man. I think it was a Netflix. I've been ready to get rid of that shit because unless I'm watching Mike Epps show or I don't know, Karate Kid or some shit like I don't like foreign movies. I don't like watching foreign movies, so I'll be like, man, I don't want to watch this shit. My wife watches the African movies, the Nigerian movies. I'll be like, yo,
I can't do it.
She get right back on me when she
movies though with the special effects.
That's what she said. She's like, you talk down on them, but you watch Tubi movies inside out. I'll be like, hey man, these are better. See how
special effects be the same.
Yeah,
the gunfights, the bullets and shit.
You'll catch
you
it,
see
but
the
you'll
fire
catch a
is
gem.
computer graphic.
You'll catch a gem on Tubi every now and then. I've caught some gems on like McGraw Avenue and Plug Love and 187. Like I've caught a lot of those. Well, I said this shit is actually kind of tight. So you'll catch it. The Detroit movies, a lot of them are dope as fuck. And you watch them be like, damn, this shit's cold. And then the little Milwaukee movies that be on there, we trying to come up with something. We gotta support each other, man. Gotta support each other. Shout out to the Juice Lady in the chat room. She said all that Asian shit on Netflix has been popping. Yeah, it's a bunch. Nah, man. Give me Tubi. Like I don't like. I got direct. Amazon Prime too. So I watch. I look at movies on there sometimes, but I got all kind. I stream. I don't do cable. So
I think Netflix fell off a little bit, man. Like after the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of American movies start going back to the theaters.
They start trying.
Because remember during the pandemic, everything was coming out on Netflix.
Yeah, wasn't nobody going to goddamn theater. It wasn't open. You couldn't get in that motherfucker. If you did, it'd be 3 people in the theater at once with masks on. It's like, I don't even want to go. Yeah, man, I thought the movie was dope, man. I thought the movie was dope, man. I do appreciate one thing about Netflix, that they give black comics voices and they pay them. Chappelle and Chris, like they pay them brothers and them sisters. And Monique was complaining about $500,000. They paid her out, and then she came back on. So they pay black comics, and you can go see it. So anybody who support us, hey Kev, you don't know who own that shit. Like black people get deep on you, like don't eat that. You're like, oh shit, why shouldn't I eat this? You know where that chicken come from, young brother? Like I just was hungry. I just wanted a chicken sandwich. My bad. What else is popping, man? Y'all don't hesitate to call in too if y'all feel some kind of way about the press conference that we alluded to earlier, in which they said that homicides were down, but shootings were up, and violent crime is up, and children getting shot is up. But hey, statistically, homicide is kind of better than it was last year.
There's a book called How to Lie with Statistics. I mean, the shit is easy. Like you ain't even got to read the book to do it. Like I've worked for him for damn near 5 years now, and just the shit I seen in the departments that I was in, you know what I'm saying? Like having regular ass people touch a case just so you could say the case was touched. It wasn't really touched by the department that can fix some shit, but you had to be able to report to the news. Like when all that unemployment shit was going on and cases were sitting, it was motherfucking projects, special projects, just having people go through and look, just open it up, look at it and see what it need. All right. So then now they can go back and be like, hey, we've looked at 20,000 cases this week. Be like, yeah, that's all the motherfucker did. Well, look at it, and it wasn't even the department that's supposed to handle it. So, you know, it be all about the metrics and skewing numbers with statistics.
Right. Once again, I read a very pivotal book called The Measure of Man, in which historically it debunks research that people had accepted as gospel for hundreds of years. And you found out that the originators of the hypotheses and whatnot had juked it because they wanted to control the results. One of the most classic examples is they used to have a belief that the bigger the brain, the smarter the person. And so what they said was Africans deserve to be enslaved. And we're talking about a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about slavery of Africans before the transatlantic slavery. They said, well, they deserve to be treated the way they are because they have smaller brains. And the smaller your brain, the less intelligent and civilized you are. Well, the reality of it is there's tribes from Africa whose brains weigh more than any European, but they left that out. They focused on whatever Africans they found that did have smaller brains, or they just all out lied. And for years, people justified this as to this is why they are not superior to us. So I said all that to say statistics can absolutely be juked and utilized in your favor.
Right. Just like the pandemic. I mean, shit. All those statistics they only shared the statistics that played towards the mainstream narrative. And if you came with any other stats that were factual as
shot
fuck,
you down.
I spent 2 years in Facebook jail. And everything that I presented is now gospel truth. Everything I was in Facebook jail for about the pandemic is now being called truth by mainstream media.
Okay. I mean, yeah, well, the truth is yet to even spill out about that. Like it's gonna be a whole bunch of people with egg on their faces one way or another when the real truth about what happened during the pandemic, the responsibilities of certain people who dropped the ball, the actions of certain people who had ulterior motives, when that stuff kind of comes out. And it always happens this way where people are, oh my God, I can't believe that. You mean the government lied to us? That's what made the message of they cloned Tyrone is like people say, man, they would never do that.
Right.
What makes you as a black person so safe and secure that you would say the government would never do that to us? They telling you that they've made they've been birthing animals in labs, they're making meat in labs. Where do you think they get the research from? Ultimately, there has to be human experimentation, correct? You can't just use mice forever. So when you say, well, we need to find the effects of this, that, and the third, then, well, this coincides with this pandemic that we have. Let's try it on these people. You don't know what the fuck was in that needle. You don't know what was in your Cheetos. You eat Flaming Huts. All right, well, touche, motherfucker.
Just take the shot so we could all get back out here and be normal, man. Right. Damn.
I want to go to 502 again. I miss stepping.
People are getting wild and shit. If you don't take it, you deserve to be at home and fired. And now motherfuckers dropping dead.
Feel sorry for your mother, right? Like, and you doing this even when they're saying to you, it doesn't prevent you from getting it nor spreading it. But you still say, I'm taking that shit. I just like, what the fuck are we doing here? So yeah, I thought the explanation, and we know to have Kiefer Sutherland and I'm talking about they clone Tyrone, to have the man. The Kiefer Sutherland is saying no, but then you find out that the chief engineer of all this was a black man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. You thought some people may be quick with the trigger, like, oh, I don't want to see this shit. That's fine. It's a lot of movies that people consider classics that I ain't never even seen. It's a lot of songs that people love and figure like it's the best, and I'll be like, I hate that shit. So you know, opinions. You know what they say are like so and so and so. We all got one in the sticks, but we don't know it, right? But here's a trip of the day for me, right? And like this kind of set me off too. And I want sisters, if there's any sisters on the line, please, 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 this is the time when I would really like to hear from you. If you know some sisters and you say, girl, you need to hear this, this is the part of the show that I want to talk about in depth, right? If we can. And if we can't get sisters to talk about it, it's a one-sided conversation. Just Hilarious, comedian Just Hilarious, responded to a comment made by a transgender woman. And this transgender woman, was it T.S. Madison who said this, or was just one? I'm not up on my transgender celebrities, so you gotta. I didn't feel like I need to write names down. So this transgender woman said, women, cisgender women, straight women, if you will, piss me off because they act like they own the rights to womanhood. They don't own periods. They don't own cramping.
You big dummy.
She said these bitches get on my nerves. They don't own womanhood. Just because you was born a woman don't mean you can't tell me how to be a woman. And I said, first of all, you're a trans woman, right? Saying to a naturally born woman, she doesn't own having a period. She doesn't own having children. She doesn't own womanhood. I said,
or no, they said having a period don't make you own womanhood or something like that.
It was along those lines.
Hey, and I thought that because I'm like, yes, the fuck it does, because that's what makes you a woman.
Well, the whole idea that just because you born a woman don't mean you can tell me how to be a woman. I'm like, what the fuck planet are we on right now? Where in the fuck are we at if we got men who want to be women telling women who are women that they can't tell him how to be a woman? Y'all help me connect this logic. I'm twisted. And so Just Hilarious comes out and says, the comedian, she says, basically she expresses outrage and says, okay, now at what point do we stop really violating women? Like how in the hell can a transgender man come out and tell me something about me not being able to own a period, having a period, and being a real woman? This sparked the transgender activist, I guess, celebrity T.S. Madison, who I also don't support. And if y'all ever see a comedian named T.S. Madison, looks like a woman, it's a guy. So if for all you brothers who be, man, that's a dude, because you've been watching her, she says it though, like he says it, whatever. So this was blow up waiting all over the internet today. Just Hilarious is now they're coming out saying when she's transphobic and all this. But Kamar, this made me think about when we did the show where the transgender brother was murdered, and
that is motherfucker.
We had the aggressive transgender. I don't even wait. Was it a lesbian or a transgender? It was a transgender who called in, the one who went to calling bitches and hoes and talking about Courtney. I said, well, hold on, I had to hang up on him, her. I don't know what his pronouns are. Y'all gotta help me out with this shit, man. I don't, and sisters, why y'all always running? Oh, I love gay men. Now, if you transgender, you are gay, right? Because I get confused. Now, I don't know. If you are transgender, you like men. Somebody help me out with this because so Just Hilarious was saying, I'm being told that I'm not a woman by somebody who wants to be a woman, or I don't own womanhood, or she's like, we're what you try to be. We give birth to y'all. Okay. So I said, well, it's so much confusion, but this is what we got. We got the short end of the stick when we said that on the show. The transgender called in and called us all everything except for a child of God. Sean Mo, what it do, man? You back?
Yeah, I'm back, man.
You still at Wendy's?
Nah, I don't eat Wendy's, fucker.
You at Popeyes? Where you at?
I don't eat none of that.
Chicago sub and shit. You get a piece of puff.
I ain't said nothing about no fast food joint. No, what we talking about now? These trans.
Yeah, well, I would hope you keep up with it with the show instead of calling and saying what we talking about. Yeah, right. We I
ain't gonna do that. Yeah. So anyway.
Okay.
You can finish.
Okay, no, we're talking
You
about.
was waiting on my comment.
I thought you had something to contribute to the conversation. Maybe I expected too much.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you did. No, you did. But man, a lot of this.
Okay, Sean, go ahead.
Treat them like that and let them do this and let them do that and let them. Now they trying to take y'all motherfucking place. I mean, now they trying to say that you can't. You don't own womanhood. We women too. That's what your ass get.
Okay.
Now that's what we is.
Oh, hey, my bad.
Is that the Juice lady? Is that? I know we got another
Yeah,
caller.
I want to see how many people you can actually get to call in, Kev. Want to see what those lines are really popping like that. That's what's up.
The hate comes from so many different directions. Like I just can't. I gotta start wearing bracelets on my wrist, man. Like finish it off, man. What's happening? What's going on?
So yeah, just because you a transgender don't mean that you like dudes. Like I said, Bruce Jenner, he's a lesbian technically. I guess because he like women.
No, I'm a lesbian.
I mean, because he's a woman now and he like women, he's like a lesbian, kind of. I guess a trans lesbian.
Well, hold on. If you are a trans male, y'all help me out with this too. If you're a trans male, you sleep with women still? I said trans, and I'm thinking, are we talking about pre-op or post-op? Because I know there's different stages to his levels to this shit, but I don't know. And I'm not saying they're gay, even if because they can't. All I know is they don't have periods.
You sit in the dark.
Erica Hunt, what's going on?
A gender identity, and the other is a sexual preference. So there's somebody who can have a gender identity saying that I was born a male, but I feel like I am a woman, therefore I'm a trans woman, but my sexual preference is women type shit. So it gets it gets all it gets kind of wild. But I mean, it's just folks doing. I guess
it's a lot to unpack here.
Right, it's a lot to unpack.
Hello,
Erica Hunt, what's popping with you?
I'm overwhelmed.
What's popping, Kev? What's popping? First of all, I'm gonna try to say this as nicely as possible, but fuck that man-made pussy, okay? Fuck your man-made pussies, okay? Right. These transgenders is walking around here with identity issues. They haven't dealt with a lot of their mental health issues that make them believe that they are a woman. Oh. And if we do give them the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, maybe you are transgender, go get the surgery, bruh. You can't be walking around here talking about you a whole woman with hardware. And then on top of that, don't marry a woman. We got transgenders out here who still got the hardware, who are dating women, but they talking about how they such a woman. Like, I don't get it. You still attracted to a woman. So in reality, they fucked up. And organic pussy does have the right to feel the way it feels. I was made like this, born like this, fresh out the roots like this. Okay. So anytime that I hear organic woman.
Okay, organic pussy.
Well, so
I'm an organic woman.
Let me ask this though.
But you know, Kev, I also think it's a mentality thing. You know me, I look at it from the spiritual realm where we are spirits, and who's to say that I'm not a fucking woman spirit that ended up in a man body? So yeah, I do feel like I'm a woman because I have a female spirit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing the gay community at all, but like spiritually, you're not supposed to mutilate your body.
Wait, so
you're not supposed to mutilate your body.
Hold on.
I mean, but we mutilate our body on the regular by getting boobs out and tummy tucks and.
Erica, hold on. I want to ask this question too because you just said something. Even if you get the surgery, right? Even if you get if you get your genitalia changed, you still don't get the same organs or pipes as they call them as a woman does. Like even if you made your penis into a vagina, you still wouldn't ovulate. You still wouldn't.
Right. You still don't have the same hardware I have. And then too, another thing that I feel about it is I'm really frustrated with the transgender world only because so many transgenders are in the public with all of their sexual shit. They wearing these little skippy motherfucking bikinis around these children at the Pride Fest and all these other events. Some other gay men have talked about that. But I'm also upset at the fact that you chose to become a woman, but then you're gonna become a bitter, angry, poor, dignified woman. Don't choose to become a woman and then represent us badly.
Well, speak your mind, why don't you?
Right. I don't like that. If you chose to be a woman, you need to represent women well.
But it's y'all fault though, Erica. It's y'all fault.
It ain't our fault.
It's women's fault. It's women's fault. It's women's fault.
No,
it's women's fault.
The man that liked it, man.
No. It's women because you know what they make best friends. They give you fashion tips.
Right.
Ooh, leave him alone. It's y'all fault.
That's gay men. There's a difference between gay men and
transgender. Hold on. Let me ask this question. How dare any man go and have a surgery to turn his penis into a vagina and say, I ain't gay? What the fuck are you talking about? You're not gay. Like that is the ultimate, that's the highest level of gay. That's Jedi gay. When you go and actually have a surgery, you Michael Jordan gay. You Hall of Fame gay.
That's the epitome of
right. You see that all the time. Well, you see that. That's becoming more normal all day, every day in the trend. It ain't our fault for being great. You saying it's our fault for being great.
Hold on. Let's not talk over each other. Let's not talk over each other.
Not our fault.
Sounds like Clubhouse.
Women empowered. Women empowered. Empowered. Y'all help empower this movement.
The movement we help empower, Sean, is a movement of being comfortable in your own skin. Be who you are. We didn't encourage people to pretend like they are transgender so that they can go into the girls' locker room and show their dick off to the 13-year-old girls in the locker room. We're not encouraging that because we protect our daughters.
About that, though,
but you know what they call it? You know what they call it, though?
Women, Sean, is it black women or was it white women?
Women, period. Women, period.
I don't think a lot of women we didn't just push to this.
Well, black women then. Blame it on black women. It's your fault. Let's blame it on black.
No, you guys blame it on black women.
I'm going to tell you why. It's black women's fault.
Hold on. No, it's your fault, kid. You didn't make these men feel like men. That's your fault.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you why it's your fault, because there's a such thing called complicitness. And though I hear you saying, well, we didn't support this or we didn't support that, but y'all was down with the shit off top, so that makes y'all complicit. So maybe you didn't throw the rock, but you knew the dude who threw it and you introduced him. You brought him to the party, so you're complicit. He rode in your car, man. So
women from your era, then, Kev.
That's like saying
that's the women from your era, then.
No, women. Like saying, black women are way more gay friendly now than they've ever been. Black women are way more.
You do get a lot of black women that say, "I love gay men. They fun. They fun."
Right, they just my bestie.
They do that.
My makeup artist. He be sitting there, leave him alone. You be like, man, I don't want to do the round.
Instead of saying,
and I understand that, Kev. And I was very, very supportive of it until I started realizing, like, this motherfucker really got mental illness, and his mental illness turned on his friends.
It was too late then, though.
And when it's time for me to throw hands, I'm not throwing hands with a woman no more. I'm throwing hands with an angry ass black man.
Kamar was trying to jump in here. Let's let Kamar get his off because he be sitting there like he
froze. I was just talking about how over the years we heard we used to always hear black women saying like, "Gay men fun. I love gay men. I got my best friend a gay man." So that's what I think. That's what I think Sean talking about when he say empowering them.
Right.
You want to talk about? Thank you, Kamar.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't listen, sisters. Now, don't get me wrong, because my wife don't rock with gay men, right? Like, so she's never been one who says that's cool, especially in light of the fact that we have 2 children that we hope we're hetero. You know, you hope, you don't never know. You be like, man, I need him to keep getting older. Like, man, what's up with you? You be on your son, like, hey man, why you walking like that? You're like, my foot hurt. Well, you better survive. You got to deal with that pain, nigga. Don't be switching around here. You know what I mean? So, but there's a lot of black women, especially in popular media, in the women that are leaders, the women that have that hold a certain standard are very gay friendly. They've been forthcoming with them, like, oh, this is fine. Let him be who he wants. I'm not saying you have to be anti-gay. I don't want to put that sentiment out there, but I'm saying women have participated in the proliferation of this whole homo agenda because they've kind of sided with them and said, no, it's okay. Let him. Where men be like, man, fuck that shit. Now I know our problem with it. This is a lot of us say that, but then be calling dude behind his wife back, like, yeah, man, let me come through. Like, see, if you on that side as a black man, you part of the fucking problem too. So I ain't fucking with you
I
either.
ain't gonna agree with that. I ain't gonna agree with that. You said a lot. I ain't gonna say there's a lot because I don't know
It's
that.
a lot. It's a lot.
We know it's a lot.
It's a lot.
So
These younger generation cats.
That's fucked up that y'all know. Shit.
Come on, man. You know the world. Stop it, man. Stop. Don't. You ain't super macho. You know it's some brothers who go in the front door and come out the back door. You know that, and they don't tell nobody. Like, and
because
come on,
if
man.
I know about it, I tell people.
Why?
Shit ain't cool.
Why you gonna bust him out?
What you mean? That shit ain't cool.
I mean,
that shit ain't cool.
I want to say something though on the blame of women being the cause of the transgenders acting the way they acted.
Okay, let's handle that. Go ahead.
First off, right, I'm gonna blame it on the white folks, on the white people. Because first off, they were feminists and they all started this movement to destroy the black man. So of course their agenda also caused for them to humiliate the black predators their way.
Okay.
One. Okay, with the whole buck breaking, that's the nicest way I could say it, right? So that also increased all of the gay men out there that were also in the pedophilia or whatever the word it is, you know? But you know what I'm talking about. These white people started messing with our little black boys.
That's where we at. Back to they cloned Tyrone.
And then another example that it's not women encouraging this shit. Yes, we say be who you are, but how many stories have you heard about a woman who is not condoning that shit in her household?
You just heard one. I just said it. I just said my wife she don't condone. She's a woman who I know who will speak against that and say I don't agree with that. I don't want to be friends with a gay man. I don't want him around me.
I think even my bad.
No, my last point that I want to bring up though is in my household, any child that's ever been around me, you have been a boy and you have been a girl. Okay. And people be like, "Why you calling that girl a girl?" Stop, I don't like when you call she's a girl. Call her what she is. He's a boy. Call him what he is. Yeah. To discourage the gay shit in the community. But now, as a black woman, because we are supportive of be who you want to be. You'll find out later. You know, that's our motto. Be who you want to be. You'll find out later. Now, if he consistently saying, well, I think I like boys, we're going to try to explore that lane with him. And if we can't, a lot of us black mothers just deny the fact that our child thinks he's gay. And then you got a bunch of gay people running around where my mama won't even identify me as a boy because I used to be a girl. And I'm talking about transgender, both male and female, because I'm so tired of seeing pregnant men, it ain't even funny.
This shit
you so tired of saying what?
This water
pregnant men.
This water has gotten extremely muddy. Hold on. This because we done went all over the place like bird shit. Well,
I'm here.
You know that's
I
me.
got you, Dion. You know. Give me a second because I want Fonzarelli to be able to contribute. I want everybody to be heard. And, you know, and look, hold on. And I told y'all when we started, we're gonna talk about some shit tonight that's gonna have everybody wanting to say something, right? I said that. Okay, Real, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
I was just gonna say, even women who may not feel that they have contributed by agreement, some of them may have mistakenly contributed. Just the fact that a lot of organic women are walking around here as fake women now, so it makes it even more easy for a man to. Okay, if a real woman got on ass pads, titty pads, dissected her body to fit this standardized look, got fake lashes, fake hair, all the shit that she now considers making her beautiful, a nigga can throw on and take her place type shit. So
well, hold on, Real, because I gotta make sure I need some clarity here. I don't think what makes a woman is anything aesthetic. I don't think it's about lashes and hair and titty pads. Biological makeup. Biological makeup.
Apparently to the transgenders. The transgenders think it do.
Hold on. Go ahead, Kamar. I couldn't hear what you said.
I was just saying the transgenders think that's what make a woman. And so what we're saying is like, you know what I mean, by them doing all this, you know what I mean, it's really showing the transgenders how to do it too.
Okay.
Well, I think that a lot of the brothers who chose that life, they were the ones, because you got to remember, like, who influences the women nowadays are women on TV. But who influences the women on TV are their hairstylists, their makeup artists, their fashion designer, which a lot of times are men in that walk of life. So now, if they trying to contour their shape with these damn bulletproof vests, that's what that shit feel like. If you knock on a chick's stomach and it knocks because she got that spank on and shit, but
I don't want to criticize no big backs or nothing.
I'm just saying,
this
like,
is strictly about what makes gender.
Body shaper to give you curves. Now men are putting on body shapers to give themselves curves, and the same wig and lashes that a lot of women are now putting on, and now they find themselves, I ain't gonna say competing, but if you got two people side by side, both in wigs, lashes, body shapers, and a shitload of makeup, you damn near don't know who is who until they strip.
No, you should know, because there's a certain rough edge. I can peep it. I said that ain't no woman. That ain't no woman. That ain't Tina. That's Tyrone.
Hey, man. Wait a minute, man.
Features too.
Go ahead, Dion.
So I was just peeping some earlier, and I do feel like women allowed the transgender men to co-op their whole movement. You know, because they was like, yeah, that's my girl, and you go, bitch, and all this, and the little girls be running around with their little the belly shirts on and all that, and you know what I'm saying. So the thing is, because I was just looking at something about that, women allowed them in there, and now they co-opting the movement, and now women like, wait, hold on now, but y'all accepted it, condoned it, and let them in. Because a man by nature is a conqueror. So even though he wants to be a woman, he still is a man biologically by nature. I don't care if he did get his sliced and diced. He's always going to be a man eternally. He might change his features externally, but internally and mentally, he's always going to be a man. So that's why they was able to move up into the movement and co-opt it. You understand what I'm saying? That's just like me and my guy. His girl, and I don't understand this, and I'm gonna get off real quick. I got a couple things to say. For one, I don't understand how a woman can say I hate men, but want to be with a woman that looks like a man. Because my guy, his sister messed with a girl. I thought it was a young boy. The punk cut she cut her titties off and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be a sick individual to mutilate your body into something that it isn't. You understand what I'm saying? I could never imagine somebody cutting my penis off and trying to mold it into a vagina, because that's horrible. A woman, and then like the one lady was saying, women are built for certain things. The pelvic structure of a woman's body is built to give birth. Right. A man does not have that pelvic structure. Right. So you could try to sit up there and get your penis turned into a vagina. You will not have that vagina, that vaginal opening, because that is to give birth. You understand? You can't have a uterus, and even if they did try to implant a uterus in you, you won't have a period, because that's the vagina. I mean, that's the woman's lining. What?
I don't want you to let's not get gynecological, because you done said the wrong things.
No,
like, he don't know what the fuck he talking about. Let me.
No,
hold on.
It is though, when a woman has.
I just want to make this point.
Period.
I just want to make this point.
When a woman has a period, her body is cleansing itself. That's her uteral lining shedding those eggs that was unused, because those eggs are meant for production. So if she don't get pregnant, that's why when dogs go in heat and then the dog bleeds, that's the whole thing, like something similar like a woman. When she has a period, those are unused eggs that she's shedding from her body because they wasn't fertilized. You understand what I'm saying? So men out here would never, ever be a woman. And then the thing about it is, my whole thing, like I asked the young man one day in Sam's Club, how do you know what a woman is if you never was a woman? How can you wake up and say, I identify as a woman, but you don't know what a woman identify is? Because women are very emotional creatures, and some women don't even know what they identify as. Not saying that they flip flopping, but you know women be having them ups and downs, and they be tripping and shit, especially when they start going through that menopause.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Dion. So I wanted to put it. I wanted to
like tripping and shit.
bring this back to the center, right? And I hear you, and thank you for that lesson on female anatomy, because we all need to understand that, right? Like that's always important.
Girl said, that coochie pink, my booty all brown. I'm about to go,
Listen, I just wanted to say this, man.
You can't be mad because he.
Listen. The thing
right.
is when women have issues because of their sacrifice, right? So women suffer from endometriosis. They suffer from all kinds of ails that come with the purpose that God has blessed them with. And for a man, no matter what he does to his body, no matter how he dresses or whatever, he owes a woman at least that much grace to not intrude upon her right to femininity and womanhood. So I disagree with any homosexual person or any transgender person. It ain't about being transphobic. It's not about being homophobic. I disagree with them, and I feel like you are, when they say you're doing too much. When you saying to a woman, when you watch a woman deal with women issues, that's why they have their own doctors, because they have issues that are unique to women. It's like you can't disrespect that, and that is the price they pay. Like Kamara says, the woman is God because of how she's able to create and give birth, right? But there's a burden to being that special, right? And so they have issues health-wise that need to be addressed. And so for transgender people, I mean, but I just, once again, I look at black women, and when all this while, when it's been all kinds of real, what they call cisgender men, heterosexual men, we've been getting dissed and handled rough by gay people, and black women been kind of, some of them, not all of them, because we believe in the 100% rule, which states that there's nothing that's 100% true about no group of people. So I don't need nobody to say not all people. We know not all people, right? But there's a lot of black women were quiet while there's been this constant assault on masculinity, toxic masculinity. Girl, fuck them men and all that. And so now
I feel like all that gay stuff is toxic masculinity, because that's not masculinity.
It's a bunch of ways to address it, Kamar. That's what I'm saying. We have to, let me catch my chat room, because people were active. Give me a second, Erica. Or is that Courtney? Give me a second. Give me a second, Courtney. I want to catch up the chat room. Ernest said Dwight Howard is a trans something. Man, accusations, allegedly. Ernest said he just wished they would shut the fuck up. Mama Jiggins said, like Magic Johnson's son / daughter. Yeah, what is that about? Yeah, I mean, for all of, right. That's it. He take it from you. I mean, I'm not allegedly. I shouldn't have said that. That was bad. I should have said that. Paris. Hey, shout out to Paris. He said, peace from the Mile High City. Income City. He said Frontline Black News, and shout out to you and Shabaka, man. I gotta get with y'all. Dion said, Paris said Dion is talking about the alphabet mafia agenda being pushed on our people. Okay, so we got the chat room up to speed. Courtney, you want to drop something in here, so I want to give you a chance to pop your piece.
I want to say that I feel like we, as a people or women or whoever, we have kind of let it go too far, to the point where I remember 2015-ish in work, that's when you kind of had to identify motherfuckers what they want to be identified as, or your ass to get fired. So I think we didn't let this shit go too far. A lot of people don't speak up because if you do, that could lead to termination. You know what I'm saying? Even old girl just hilarious saying what she said. Nowadays that could turn into getting canceled. So I don't know. I think a lot of people now, they just won't say shit, even though they might want to say shit. They know they might be sacrificing their job or whatever the fuck. We've let it get this goddamn far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whole point of this whole thing is, and I love to reference old shows because we've been doing this shit for so long. We did a show a long time ago called No Vaseline, the homosexual agenda in America, the force feeding of the homosexual agenda in America. And this was years ago. We talked about all of a sudden there was gay characters everywhere you looked, on every television show and every movie. There was all kinds of, especially under Obama, like the gay shit was big. And I want to say the gay shit because I don't want to disrespect gay people. The gay movement was very important to Obama. Like they skipped us in the line. Black man, get your ass back. And black women get your ass back, but I think at the time the sisters didn't know it. They thought they was just talking to us. Now what Malcolm say, the chickens have come home to roost. So I just think now it's important that we all band together now as people who are what they call cisgender. I just call us straight, and just say, nah, it's okay for me to be straight. Just like it's okay for you to be gay, it is okay for me to be straight. I always felt like the problem was, I don't have a problem with you being gay, but you have a problem with me saying I'm not gay. If I just stand up and say, excuse me, I'm in the wrong room, I'm not gay. You cursed, you're homophobe, get out of here. It's like, damn. Should I sit here?
You just say I'm a man. Well, you're a cisgender man. No, I'm just a fucking man. Don't add all that other shit to it. I'm a man. I shoot out shit that produce kids.
Oh shit. Yeah, you went deeper than Dion did about the gynecological walls of the urethra and shit. Like, I was like, God damn, this boy got a PowerPoint attached to this shit. But shout out to Dion, man. He has a unique perspective. Man, I don't even know how many people I got on the line, but nobody should ever question my technical capabilities again. I'm gonna say it like they do in England. Again, right? That's how you know you highfalutin when you say again. Don't call me again. What you say? What you say, Sean? I know you're gonna figure out a way to hate. What's wrong now?
I said that's because you ain't got that fucking flip phone. And you probably use that king education.
Yeah. See, look, and you got to give him credit because he dug so deep for that hatred. Because anytime you reference the fact that I went to King, it means you're really reaching far as a motherfucker, right? Like, it's just, I done went to like 5 colleges since then, and you bring up King and shit. You might as well bring up Bell Middle School.
Like
you ain't said nothing about the several universities I've attended and graduated from. Why you bringing up King? Don't reference my education again. Well, I got to do it again. I got to do it. I'll mute you and you won't speak again. No. Here's the other crazy shit that we have to address before we get off here because it's already 9:19. Carly Russell, the sister, is that her name? Carly Russell in Alabama, has admitted to her lawyers, and they've reported to police that she was never kidnapped. There was no baby on the side of the road. They still ain't tell us what was going on, but she's admitted that this whole thing was Tawana Brolin 2.0, right? Now, did y'all see this news?
My bad, y'all.
Right.
But everybody figured that out, though.
Right. You know, we already did. My bad, y'all.
It was Captain Obvious. It was, but it was
niggas figured that shit out way a long time ago.
Right.
We figured that shit out at the barbershop.
Yeah, black people detectives. It's like how we knew the brat was gay and shit. It's like the brat came out like she came out. Fucking, who didn't know this shit? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
But black people went to work right away with the statistics and everything. Man, don't you know on that highway where I seen the video? Black people are some scientific son bitches, boy. They knew this shit was a hoax.
Baby either, man. They don't even want to take care of their own motherfucking kids. Anybody grab her baby? The fuck?
No, I don't. They haven't said where she's at. They said they're considering possible charges against her, right? In a court of law. I'm getting more English as this show go on. For this lie that she told, and I don't know. I guess her family said, you know, well, we pray for us, and just black people always say that after you find out somebody lied, but pray for us. They're trying to get her help with her issues
as we handle these family events.
Right. But her mother was adamant when this first happened. Her mother was adamant. She fought her way and she escaped and she ran through the forest naked. And I said, God damn.
Hey, but ain't that what she was supposed to do though for her daughter?
You right.
Yeah.
That's what she was supposed to do. You know
That's mama. That's mama, right?
You could imagine, you know how her mama is. She's like, God damn it, Carly. You know, she's like, God damn it, Carly.
We was on the news and then told these people.
I'd have been all up at the church, girl. They took up a fun collection plate for us.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
We took up a love offering.
Was she just trying to like scare her boyfriend, or what was her motive?
Well, we'll find out. And like when we referenced, and you know, we were prophetic in that we stated that I did. I don't know about nobody else. Is that this had very similar notes as the Tawana Brawley thing. And if you don't know who or what Tawana Brawley, this is why motherfucker got to read no history. Because for the person that who is that, they didn't see the jig was up. But as soon as people who knew, when we said that's Tawana Brawley, black people said, this shit is like that, Kev. So, and like Kamar said, we already knew that. They say no shit, Sherlock. But she admitted it.
We see the shit every summer. Every summer, it's about 3 or 4 young girls missing, and then it just kill over because you find out they was just parlaying at their grown boyfriend house.
And I must admit, now rest in peace to my mom, and I can tell this truth now out loud because I've never told it out loud. But my mother used to give me $50 a month to do whatever I wanted to do with, right? But I had a bad habit of losing money, and so she gave me $50 one time, and I went to Radio Shack to give me a computer game and lost that goddamn $50. There was no way I was coming home telling my mother I lost that $50. I made up an intricate plot about getting robbed by some older dudes. I spoke to Capitol Court security. I told them call the goddamn police. I was taking that lie to my grave with me because I was not going to tell my mama I lost that $50, right? And I never did admit it. And I got away with the shit. So shout out to that sister. I ain't that mad at her. Like, I was like 10 though, or 11. So she's a whole grown up. But I'm just saying, motherfuckers do what they got to do, man. And some of y'all out there who judging this, y'all done told a lie before too. So stop it. Let ye be not judged by ye. Say that again.
Completely different. You got everybody checking for you. Niggas is worried. This is the first time black folks.
I think she thought it was gonna get that beat
and go missing, and here you go.
I'm talking about every security guard at Capitol Court walking around looking for these dudes who took my $50. I'm talking about the community was supporting me. Like, he's just a little kid. Yes. And I was riding with that shit. They had to beat that confession out of me. That's what my mother would have did. And she probably would have never gave me no money ever again. Because I had lost some money prior to that shit. Motherfucker, this last time, next time you lose some money, I'm fucking you up. So I done lost this $50. But the lesson was I went and got me a wallet, one of them little nylon wallets back in the days when I was a kid. That's when I started carrying my money in. I stopped losing money. But yeah, I did roll that lie for years. And even when I got older, she said, remember that time they took your money at Capitol Court? I said, hell yeah, I wish I see him now. I beat their ass. I get mad just thinking about it. Mom. It make me want to snap. This shit never happened. I'm sorry, Mama. I know she's looking down on me like you son.
Oh, man.
I know, man. I've been fucked up a long time, man. I need this therapy, this Outlaw Radio therapy. This is therapeutic for me. Let me see. Who is this? Oh, shout out to Ruben Anderson. I didn't see you in the chat room, my brother. How you doing? He said, wow. Deborah, I say Deborah. Mama Jenkins said, are people still doing GoFundMe? I heard I haven't heard that for too many people. Oh yeah, they still doing GoFundMes. Yeah. They still doing them. Yes, of course. They throw that shit up there quick. Like, you gotta GoFundMe so we can keep looking for her. I don't know if you got to get that money back. Dion said they should prosecute her to the fullest extent of the law. She made a mistake, Dion. Damn, you gonna give her the chair? Like,
Dion don't care.
Yeah, he like, kill a bitch, stone her. Like, no, man, this ain't the Old Testament, bro. She made a mistake. I mean, but I think anytime she make another accusation, I think you got to kind of side eye her and shit. Like, really? Now, was you? Hey, motherfucker, this just chased me down and beat me. Now, did they really chase you down? Like, you got to at least look at her and say, on what? Black people, that's how we make sure you telling the truth. Like, on what? Bullshit.
By day 2, they were showing her face next to that Jussie Smollett dude, so we already knew.
Yeah. Just say Smoke. What Chappelle called him? Just say Smollett. I was coming from Subway at 2 in the morning and got assaulted by some big Africans. Yeah, it's not even a good one. You should have asked me. If he'd hollered at me, I could have told him how I pulled off my infamous plot so long ago in the 80s. But yeah, man, I don't know. What y'all think? What you think her punishment should be?
I don't know, man. I mean, it depends what the law is. Whatever law is, it should be. You know what I mean? Just like that was foul. She did. Like, she tugged on a lot of people's emotions. You know what I mean? A lot of shit, man. And then, like, I want to know why, too.
Was she on a bender? Was she off that Henny?
Say
What was
what?
it? Was she some good purple, some good moon rock? Was she? I mean, was she off that boy? Was that black people say? Was she on that heroin? It's called heroin. Yeah, you on that heroin? What was up with her? Sean, what you think they should do to her?
You asked. You said me.
Yes.
She obviously thought this shit out, right? They found evidence of, well, that ain't no alleged shit. They found evidence that she was researching shit, Amber Alerts and shit. She should have researched how much time she was really facing. That's what she should have researched.
Well, she was trying. She was trying because she said, remember, her Google history said, how do you take some money from a cash register and not get caught? Like, so you're right. She was planning. She just had a piss poor ass plan. Like, where did she go? Racine? Like, I don't know. Shout out to Racine. I don't know. Is that where you go when you need to hide? I'm gonna go down to Racine and lay low. Like,
well, we know that she didn't go to Rufus King high school.
Right, she couldn't get in there. She's not intelligent enough, obviously, to have gone there.
Right.
Much like yourself. But I'm just saying, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You know, shout out to King, man, and shout out to people who haters because they didn't get to go. I understand. First of all, it's on beautiful Capitol Drive, one of the most beautiful in the first district, one of the most beautiful black neighborhoods you've ever seen in your life. So the hate starts as soon as you smell the ambiance when you get in. Well, not now. It's not just smell like Newports and Kush.
I'm from
Right, but not that area, not that part though. I don't hold it against you. I get it. I get it.
My grandfather stayed on 18th, so I was over there all the time. So yeah,
you was a visitor. I lived over there. I lived over there. Okay. I mean, you know, we'll go back and forth after the show's over. You can call me and try to insult me more. Okay. Ruben Anderson said, "What's good, man? Nothing. We've gone through a bunch of different topics, Ruben. I mean, anything you could say was news. We pretty much hit that running. It's 9:30. We're almost done. If you missed the first part of the show, any part of the show, you want to re-listen, go back. You want to share it. I would appreciate it if everybody shared the show. Shout out to y'all who do, because I see it. Sometimes I'm scrolling. I say, oh shit, somebody shared my shit. And especially like Ian Jordan and people like that. So they rock with us. We appreciate that. Deion says, throw her away. He said she played games with resources, so she should pay. Straight to prison. He said she in Alabama and they gonna do her like Dubai. Not Dubai. Dubai. I said that bitch over there in Dubai.
Dubai.
He fucked up.
Where you going for vacation? Dubai. That sound like it's outside Detroit or some shit. I'm going to Racine and stay in the hotel for vacation. Let me see what else we got. Oh shit! I think this would be a great way to close the show tonight. Because we'll be back Wednesday, y'all. We gonna make sure we get it in Wednesday too. Man, because it's a lot going on. I love it when the news cycle is fresh, and I'm in the podverse, so when it's popping, I'll be like, yeah, I can't wait. But this, I don't know if you all have paid attention to this Jason Aldean. He has a country song. He's a country western artist. He made a song called Small Town, and it is one of these conservative Trump MAGA type songs where he talks about all of the disrespect for the law and the government, and you know, he's talking about people spitting in cops' faces and people protesting and people being so sensitive about things. And his message is, try it in a small town. He said, you do that in a big city, try it in a small town and see what happened to your ass. This is the moral of this song. And people say, well, this is a pro-lynching song. And so his video has actually been removed from the country western. And I didn't even know they still had a video station, because I didn't know motherfuckers still watch videos. But I guess country music channel, and I don't have cable anymore, so or satellite DVD. So I guess I'm missing that. But they taking his song down. I did go and watch it. And I thought it's very interesting because, first and foremost, how long have white people attempted to create what a patriot is, create the narrative of what a patriot is? I'm American. This is, go back to where you came from, and this is your country, and all this kind of stuff. They've always done that, and they've always been very hypocritical in talking about your right or the rights that you don't have, which is you don't have the right to protest. You shouldn't be talking down to police officers. without even acknowledging the fact that there's so many egregious police murders and assaults that still go on hour after hour in this country. That is fucking ridiculous. All right. And then to talk about protesting in the spirit of resisting oppression is hypocritical as well, because I do believe you some bitches was climbing up the walls at the White House trying to storm the Capitol a couple months ago. The Negro presence there was minimal. That was you some bitches. That was you flag waving, patriotic, I'm American, goddammit. The stars and the stripes, you big belt buckle wearing motherfuckers. That was y'all, right? I think, and people, I don't take offense to his message. Try it in a small town. Fuck a small town. Nobody wants to live in no shithole little ass town, especially if it's a white one, because you already know it's some bullshit that come with it. But I also want him to understand that today's black person, today's foundational black American is not offended at all by your message. As a matter of fact, you just basically showing us who you are, and we already knew that in the first place. It's just like the Carly Russell thing. It's just like the brat thing. Let me guess, you racist. Ha ha, I'm so surprised. You're a fucking country western singer from a small town, and you talking about try it in a small town. We take care of each other and we love each other. Come on, man. Like, so I'm looking at black people who were in an uproar about it, and I'm like, I don't feel like we should even give a fuck. I think we that's one of the things we do need to stop doing, is giving them so much attention.
I'm being so sensitive.
Right. About what do you expect this redneck inbred son of a bitch to say? What do you expect him to say? Yeah, forever they've been waving a flag and talking about. We make the point on here all the time, at least I do, and this is my belief, and you have the right to talk about your belief on your podcast, and I'll listen. I'll tune in when your show come on. We as black people are the only true Americans, because we are the only race culture that was created by this country as a direct result of your practice of slavery, in which you divided, demeaned, degraded, oppressed, murdered, harassed, assaulted, exploited, you name it. As a direct result of that, we became a people unto ourselves, right? So when I say foundational black American, I talk about those of us who are descendants of slavery. We are all children of the diaspora, but in America, it's unique, because if you are a child or a great-great-grandchild, I think I'm 2, maybe 3 generations removed from slavery. It's not a whole lot. My great-great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents were slaves, right? So that's not that, it's not that far. So we became who we are because of that. So when you say, well, go back to where you came from, I always say, what, you want to move back to Mississippi? That's where my people came from. Now, you, on the other hand, came from Germany, right? Yeah, my grandparents were in Ellis Island. Your mother is Polish, right? So they came from Poland. Yeah, well, you go back to fuck where you came from. You go back to where you came from. So it's just another funny thing that white people do now that used to get us all riled up, that most of the time as black people, we don't give a fuck, right? Like, as a matter of fact, we ain't offended about the shit we should be offended about. So we damn sure don't give a fuck about the shit that we shouldn't be offended about, right? Like, so, we ain't even mad about the right shit. So nice try, swing and a miss. It is what it is. I understand who I'm dealing with. You don't go into a fight not knowing your opponent. I think it's very important for black people right now to know their opponent. And I see Ewok saying Clone Tyrone still suck. That's to you. Sometimes you be watching some shit and you put it on Facebook like, I'm watching Uptown Saturday Night.
Ewok is still stuck on that conversation. Shit.
Right. Well, he making his point. He wanted us to know he didn't like the movie. I get it. We all have our tits and our tats, right? So, some like a fat, like some like a skinny, some like a dollar, some appreciate a penny. It depends on where you standing at. But no. So what I'm saying is, black people, we're no longer giving energy to things that don't deserve our attention. Like, right? We need to start focusing this energy inward, because we waste a lot of momentum by stopping. Every time we get up to full speed, we slow down and be like, wait, what was that? This is just running. We got to go. We don't have time for the bullshit no longer. So, of course, it goes without saying that Jason Aldean can kiss our ass. I think that's one of the things where people say, well, let me guess, Kevin, you're going to tell him to kiss your ass. That's what a white person say. Well, let me guess. You don't like Jason Aldean. Right. No shit, Sherlock. So, away with him His name shall never be mentioned on Outlaw Radio again. I had to get English again one more time for y'all. Won't mention again. Kamar, you got anything coming up between today and Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll be at the Sherman Phoenix tomorrow from 11 to 5.
Okay. Catch him out. Check him out at the Sherman Phoenix. Real. When is this interview coming out? You and the Juice Lady. I know y'all was doing it big. I seen y'all pictures.
They said they shooting to try to have this channel up and running by like the holidays. They said so. They still trying to interview more and more local authors. So if you an author, holla at them and tell your story and sell your books.
But only if you're an author. So if you got a car wash or some shit, it's like fuck you. We looking for authors.
So you talking about me? Okay, no problem.
Okay.
I'll be getting with you, real.
Everybody except you. Everybody except you, Sean. No, what you got coming up this week, man? Because I know my brother Vince said he got a meeting coming up with the owner of the hotspot. I was hoping he'd tuned in. He said we'll talk about it, Sean, after the show. But he said he got this meeting coming up, and I didn't know if maybe he was going, jump in that meeting or what, but that's still popping.
Listen, man. Listen, I don't conform. I don't compromise.
Okay.
Right? Bullshit is bullshit. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. Them motherfuckers is a detriment to the community. Have been a detriment to the community. Gonna continue being a detriment to the community as long as they in the community. They know all they gotta do is wait a month or so, shit'll die down, right back to business, right? Fuck that shit. I don't want to meet with that pussy motherfucker. I want to slap the shit out of him. But yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm actually starting another book. So yeah, that's what I'm doing this week.
Okay. Well, keep on writing. Let me see. Alexandria said, what I missed today? A whole lot. We kept it moving the whole time, and we're getting out a little bit early. Like I used to tell my class, I'm gonna let y'all up out of here a little bit early today. During my days as an educator, a public educator. Right. Pat myself on the back type shit. But no, man, we got to stay strong, man. We got to stay focused. We got to pay attention to what's ahead of us. I think this is a great time to really understand what the hidden messages are and what they have been for so long, because obviously I hear people say, well, everybody understands the symbolism. Well, everybody know that, Kev. Well, if everybody did, I think we'd be in a different place mentally. I see a lot of people who are not aware of certain things. I see a lot of people who have Stockholm syndrome who could not even conceive of the fact that your oppressor would conspire against you. Like, what do you mean? You think white people really did that? It's like, do you read the history of this country's government? Do you not look at through the Freedom of Information Act, the redacted documents on how they fucking listened in on Martin Luther King and tried to poison Malcolm X, and how they killed Patrice Lumumba, and how they've tried to subvert all kinds of African initiatives, global initiatives. Listen, this is the same people that dropped a bomb on China. Is that what they dropped? Japan, Nagasaki? Which one is that? I'm not up on my Chinese or my Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They dropped two. They dropped two. One on Nagasaki and one on Hiroshima. So thank y'all for correcting me. This is the same group of people. Black people who don't believe that they would do something nefarious against us. It's the same people who conducted the Tuskegee experiments for 40 years, and they did it from a HBCU campus while you niggas was shuffling and dancing and Omega flying and American Omega side chicken leg and all this kind of shit. And they was giving people syphilis, right? Go to HBCU. I'm cool with the HWCUs I went to. Historically white colleges and university, not because their education was better, and definitely not because white ice is colder, but it's because I dealt with them the way I needed to deal with them, and I learned who they are and how they operate, so I wasn't set back or taken aback when I got into the real world. Well, this is the same old shit. Y'all been showing me who y'all is forever. That's why I'm not offended when I hear Jason Aldean say something about try it in a small town. I had one of the most beautiful race riots that I've ever participated in a small town called Wapaton, North Dakota. Ask them about it in the Chihinkapa Park, the boat house on the river. A bunch of white boys walking around with hoof prints upside their head to this day. So try it in a small town, man. I have to give Jason Aldean a very classic Willie D. quote to end the night. Your mama should be embarrassed and your daddy should have pulled out. Fuck you. I'll see y'all Wednesday night, man. Peace and love.
Peace.